This question has become a hot topic among K-pop fans and industry observers. Why does HYBE seem to never take the spotlight away from two of BTS's biggest names, Jungkook and Taehyung? The phenomenon has sparked various analyses, all pointing to the strategic importance of both idols in the company's vision. From the very beginning, Jungkook was known as the Golden Magne, a multi-talented member with strong vocals, dancing skills, and striking visuals that consistently capture public attention. Taehyung, on the other hand, brought a deep baritone voice, eccentric personality, and artistic aura rarely seen in other idols. Together, they form a unique combination. HYBE appeared to recognize early on that these two were the most marketable faces for international audiences. It was not just their talent, but their personas that allowed them to connect with diverse demographics, from teenagers to adults, across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. In countless global campaigns, Jungkook and Taehyung have been positioned front and center. Whether in advertisements, magazine covers, or international music events, the spotlight almost always lands on them. This is no accident, it is a carefully calculated business strategy. Reports from Korean media note that content featuring either Jungkook or Taehyung tends to generate exceptionally high engagement. From a marketing perspective, HYBE has clearly capitalized on this to expand its global influence. Fans are quick to notice the pattern. Some criticize that too much spotlight on the two creates an impression of imbalance within the group. Yet the data consistently shows that Jungkook and Taehyung's appeal is extraordinarily powerful in the global market. HYBE rarely addresses this issue directly. The company typically insists that all BTS members are equally valuable. Still, real-world strategy often places the spotlight squarely on these two. Analysts argue this is not mere favoritism but a business-driven choice. As a global corporation, HYBE prioritizes the artists who deliver the greatest impact in the shortest amount of time. Musically, Jungkook has proven himself as a global vocalist. His solo singles have dominated Billboard and Spotify charts with massive streaming numbers, cementing his role as an international asset. Meanwhile, Taehyung has carved a different path. His solo music leans more artistic, often described as unconventional for mainstream K-pop. Ironically, this distinctiveness has made him particularly appealing to Western audiences. When they appear together in the same project, media attention usually intensifies. Jungkook brings strong pop sensibilities, while Taehyung adds a unique artistic flavor. Together, they help HYBE reach multiple audience segments. But the spotlight comes with risks. The pressure on Jungkook and Taehyung is immense, greater than what other members may face. Every move they make is scrutinized, and even minor missteps can quickly spark controversy. HYBE seems to have anticipated this. The company reportedly has dedicated management teams ensuring all activities involving Jungkook and Taehyung proceed smoothly. From scheduling to public image, every detail is carefully overseen. Fans often interpret even the smallest gestures from the two as meaningful signals. A single Instagram post or a fleeting stage expression can spark thousands of comments and analyses. This suggests the spotlight is not only company-driven but also fan-driven. International brands have also taken note, placing big investments in both idols. Jungkook has fronted global campaigns for beverages and fashion, while Taehyung has been tapped by luxury fashion houses. Their commercial value clearly transcends music. In Korea, media frequently uses the phrase "taekook line" to describe the duo's dominance in the international market. HYBE, of course, has little reason to resist this narrative, as it works to the company's advantage. Still, the heavy spotlight generates debate. Some worry that excessive focus on the pair might overshadow other artists under HYBE's management. Observers argue, however, that the company has been careful to maintain BTS's group identity even as the spotlight often falls on Jungkook and Taehyung. For fans, the continued spotlight reflects their natural star power. Jungkook and Taehyung are not only popular because of HYBE's strategy, they have an innate magnetism that is difficult to replicate. HYBE's role has been to amplify what already exists. It doesn't manufacture their popularity, it manages and magnifies it for maximum global impact. Over time, this spotlight is unlikely to fade. If anything, it will intensify as both idols pursue more solo projects and international opportunities. HYBE will continue to leverage this momentum. However, the company must still walk a careful line. Relying too heavily on two names could weaken its ecosystem in the long term. That is why HYBE continues to develop other artists in parallel, even if the spotlight remains brightest on Jungkook and Taehyung. Still, the numbers make it clear. Jungkook and Taehyung are the spearheads of HYBE's global strategy. They bring not only financial success but also cultural prestige. Every time their names appear in global media, HYBE's brand image is elevated. This proves the spotlight is more than marketing, it is a necessity for maintaining the company's global position. The story also highlights a fundamental tension in K-pop. On one hand, group unity is emphasized. On the other, market realities demand focus on individuals who deliver the most. Jungkook and Taehyung bridge these two worlds. They remain part of BTS while simultaneously standing as global icons capable of shining independently. For HYBE, the spotlight on them is not just a choice, it is a survival strategy. In a rapidly shifting entertainment industry, these two are the keys to staying ahead of the competition. Ultimately, the answer to why the spotlight always falls on Jungkook and Taehyung is clear. They are a rare combination, artists with immense talent, powerful images, and universal appeal. For HYBE, the spotlight is not optional, it reflects the reality of who brings the brightest light to the company. The dominance of Jungkook and Taehyung within HYBE's spotlight is not just a reflection of their talent but also a sign of how modern K-pop operates. In a system designed to project collective unity, market forces still push individual stars to the front. HYBE has leaned into this reality, knowing that these two members embody both commercial power and cultural reach. For the company, the logic is simple. When Jungkook or Taehyung appear, global attention follows. Their presence attracts fans, brands, and media coverage on a scale that amplifies HYBE's influence far beyond Korea. In a global entertainment market that thrives on visibility, keeping the spotlight on them ensures the company's relevance. But the dynamic is also more than numbers. Both Jungkook and Taehyung have become symbols in their own right, Jungkook as the polished global pop powerhouse, and Taehyung as the unconventional artist who brings depth and authenticity. Together, they create a narrative balance that appeals to the widest possible audience. The challenge for HYBE will be maintaining this momentum without allowing it to overshadow the collective spirit of BTS or the growth of its other artists. The company's success has always been about more than just two names, but there is no denying that these names carry extraordinary weight. Ultimately, the spotlight on Jungkook and Taehyung is not just a strategy, it is a necessity. Their global appeal keeps HYBE at the forefront of the entertainment world, ensuring that every move the company makes resonates far beyond South Korea. And as long as they continue to shine, HYBE's light will follow them. As BTS's influence continues to shape global music, the roles of Jungkook and Taehyung within HYBE stand as both opportunity and responsibility. Their global appeal amplifies the company's reputation, yet it also sets expectations that are difficult to maintain. Every release, every endorsement, and every public appearance is now measured not just as individual artistry but as a reflection of HYBE's brand power. This level of visibility makes them both icons and pressure points. For Jungkook, the expectation to embody flawless global pop perfection is relentless. For Taehyung, the demand to represent authenticity and artistry while still fitting within HYBE's framework is equally heavy. Both are navigating a system that depends on them as much as it elevates them. What sets their situation apart is how deeply they resonate across cultures. Jungkook's sleek, high-energy performances align with mainstream Western pop sensibilities, while Taehyung's unconventional style speaks to audiences seeking something different, raw, and emotional. Together, they allow HYBE to cover both ends of the cultural spectrum. For fans, this duality is the reason they stay engaged. Some are drawn to Jungkook's polished charm, others find themselves moved by Taehyung's artistry. HYBE, in turn, benefits by presenting both narratives side by side, strengthening its hold on diverse international markets. The industry, however, is watching closely to see how long this balance can be maintained. Will HYBE manage to sustain the spotlight without burning out its brightest stars? Or will the intensity of global focus eventually force a shift in strategy?